students, welcome to session 14 of Habitat of the Living. So students, we will continue today's session with the same topic, adaptations, for the last major habitat, that is aquatic habitat. Now we know very well that aquatic habitat comprises all the water bodies on our planet. Right? They are mainly of three types: freshwater habitat, marine habitat, and coastal habitat. And we know that freshwater habitat comprises of rivers, lakes, ponds and streams, while marine habitat comprises of oceans, seas, swamps, wetlands. And coastal habitats, they comprise of estuaries, which are the regions where salt water mixes with fresh water, even the coral reefs. So we studied about their adaptations. Now let us get deep into these adaptations. Let us study more about the adaptations, that which plants and animals are adapted to, or what type of adaptations do plants and animals have that they can survive in these water bodies, different water bodies. So let us start with today's interesting session and learn about the adaptations for aquatic habitat. Yes, there are animals in aquatic habitat, which means they live in water. Aquatic means water. So animals which live in water must have special adaptations to help them survive in an aquatic habitat. That means the more time an animal spends in the water, the more adaptations the animal will have for an aquatic life, means for the water life. Means some species survive in freshwater habitats, some are found in marine habitat, and some are found in coastal habitat. So let us see some of the examples of adaptations of animals for aquatic habitat. Yes, aquatic animals show a variety of adaptations to stay in water. Like ducks, they have webbed feet that help them in swimming, and they also have hollow bones that help them to stay afloat. So we can say that they cannot swim underwater, but they have hollow bones that help them to stay afloat. They do not swim like fishes, like other fishes. Even there is one more amazing thing about ducks, that the oil produced from under their tails makes their feathers waterproof, so they do not get wet. There are other animals too, like fish. They have the following modifications to live underwater. Like they have gills. They are the spatial organs. Here you can see these are gills. They are spatial organs that help fish to breathe underwater. And fins help them in swimming and keeping the body balanced. And their streamlined body shape allows them to swim fast by reducing resistance due to the flowing water or the water currents. So they will flow along with water currents because of their streamlined body shape. Even there are some other sea animals like octopus and squid. Here you can see a beautiful image of an octopus and squid. These are some of the sea animals that do not have streamlined shape. They do not have natural streamlined shape, but one amazing thing about them is that while they move in water, they make their body streamlined to flow along with the water currents. So these are some of the animals which adapt themselves to have their body, they make their body streamlined while they move in water. There are other animals too, like such as dolphins and whales, that do not have gills to breathe in water. So what do? They have blowholes. Remember this term. This is very important term to remember. What do they have? They have blowholes located on the upper parts of their heads. Now this is a beautiful picture of dolphin. There is a dolphin trainer with him. So this is a beautiful picture of dolphin. Here you can see that there is something round-like structure, small round-like structure at the top of their heads. So these are dolphins which have blowholes. These same types of blowholes are present, or they are located at the upper parts of whales too, because whales and dolphins, they do not have gills to breathe in water, so they have blowholes. So they come up at the surface of the water to breathe through these blowholes. So they come to the water surface and they breathe in air through the blowholes from time to time, and this allows them to stay underwater for a long time. Right? So that is about dolphins and all such animals. And this is one more beautiful image of squid. Squid are not of only one color, they are of various different colors, and this is fish. Right, so when animals live in water, or we can say that animals have special adaptations to help them survive in water, like streamlined body, which reduces friction when an animal moves through the water. Other adaptations are also there, like smooth, almost furless body helps the aquatic animals or mammals to move through the water with little friction. Then dense fur helps to streamline the bodies of some aquatic mammals and keeps them warm. Then dense waterproof feathers keep cold water away from birds' skin like duck and prevent wetting of the feathers. Then webbed feet formed from thin skin between the toes work like paddles. Long legs and necks, they keep the bodies of wading birds out of the water, and they are thin, light and easy to move, and along the neck, the long neck helps the birds to reach water or below it for food. Even the strainers in the mouth of some aquatic animals filter food particles from the water. Then there are some animals who have adapted their legs, they are modified as flippers that provide a large surface for pushing against water and act like paddles. Then there are eyes which are positioned on the top of the head that allow the animals to hide almost fully submerged in water, and still they can detect predators or prey above the water. Even there are some animals who have nostrils positioned near the top of the head, which allow the animals to come to the surface to breathe while only a small part of the body can be seen, like in dolphins and whales. So the nostrils close when the animal goes under the water. Even the blubber is such an adaptation of some animals, and a thick layer of fat or oil which is stored between the skin and muscles of the body provides insulation to aquatic animals. There are transparent eyelids of some aquatic animals which cover their eyes swimming underwater, and flattened tails which serve as paddles. So these are some of the adaptations of many various different species of animals that allow them to survive or withstand in aquatic conditions. So there are many animals which live underwater, which live at the bottom of the sea, oceans, rivers, ponds, lakes, and so they are able to survive in these major habitats. So that was all about the animals which we saw. Now let us study about plants. What type of adaptations do plants have which live in the aquatic habitat? Like there are freshwater plants which show the following adaptations. Like plants that live in moving water have long, narrow stems. This prevents the plants from being carried away with water currents, so they will stay at their place. So they have stems, and the stems have air chambers that allow the aquatic plants to float in water. So there are plants that float in water, and they are known as floating plants. Even leaves of plants like lotus and water lily have a waxy covering that prevents them from rotting. So let us see the picture of such beautiful plants that survive in aquatic habitats. This is a beautiful picture of lotus. This is the picture of water lily. and this is the beautiful picture of pondweed. So these are some of the beautiful plants that are adapted to survive in aquatic habitat. There are some plants which have leaf shapes of varying size. Like leaf shapes of varying aquatic plants make it possible to photosynthesize and draw in oxygen beneath sometimes not so clear water. So many aquatic plants require less light than that of the other terrestrial plants, and this makes it easier to survive in murky water. Even there are several aquatic plant species that can make their lives either completely submerged or partially exposed to air, and this broadens their chances of survival to live in a water source which can be dried up or which can be full of water when it rains. Even in harsh weather, when pools of water are lacking, some plants will lay dormant in this state of suspension until the waters return. So this allows them to survive for some time with no water. Even there are plants such as lotus and seeds from Chinese tombs which are documented to have germinated in modern times. So a strong cell wall means the covering of the plant protects the seeds and keeps them fresh for at times many years of dormancy. And this helps the species of some aquatic plants to survive when the weather is not favorable. So these are the plants who have adapted themselves to this type of habitat. So I hope you liked today's session and learned somewhat about adaptations for aquatic habitat. So there are many different species of plants which we can see in freshwater, in marine as well as in coastal habitat. So they have different types of adaptations to survive in such conditions. So that was all about adaptations for aquatic habitat, and we are through with all the major habitats and the adaptations, plant and animal adaptations for major habitats. In next session we will study something about adaptation and one more new topic, that is acclimatization. So don't dare to miss it. Right, so meet you in the next session. Till then, enjoy